a crisis outside. I can't exactly say what it is. I'm actually tied. YouTube creators cannot say what's going on in the world. So, but you guys know what's going on in the world. Everyone has to. So, I'm going to start off by saying that there's a lot of things going on in everyone's homes, but I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on in my home currently. Alright, so you guys know my husband Mitch. He has asthma, and he's had asthma since he was younger. Sorry, I keep looking outside because I don't, it's a bird. And he has had asthma since he was very young. He also has just been diagnosed with Crohn's disease in the year 2015-2016, which has enhanced his asthma to a point of frustration. So everything he's known about his own asthma and medical history since he was younger, it is actually magnified into something that he's had to relearn about his body. Those two things don't exactly coexist. Asthma and Crohn's disease, they hate each other. So for Crohn's disease, he's lost a lot of weight. He's recently gained it back. He has to take a shot bi-weekly called Humira, which lowers his immune system, which also makes his asthma act crazy. Yeah, so those are his two underlying conditions. So as you can tell, it's a little nerve-wracking. But here's some more nerve-wracking stuff. We'll get back to that in a second. So before we left to Virginia, we just recently went to Virginia before this whole craziness has gotten crazier, to my best friend's house to celebrate her birthday, okay? We went from our car to her house, and her house to our car, right? Right. Besides Food Lion, you guys already saw the vlog of that. Okay, cool. Now, on our way up there, we pumped the gas. One glove, pumped the gas. The other hand was a free hand that didn't touch anything. Wallet, card, pool. And then after taking off the glove, putting it in the trash can by the pump, and Mitch getting in the car, I get him hand sanitizer and spray him with 99% alcohol. And we kept it pushing. We did not stop at any rest stops. We just kept it pushing because that's the most germiest places. So, before we left, we had a leak in the living room that was just fixed. That took about a week to get fixed. We just came back not too long ago, and now there's a leak in our bedroom that has escalated to a leak in the kids' bathroom, and it's on the carpet. Now, the problem with that is we had someone look at it the minute we got back. They didn't come until 2 days after, and water has been producing. They have been sucking the water. We have the carpet people coming here to suck up the water and put these fans down, which is what you hear right now. These fans are constantly on, which is sucking up my electric bill. And then we got the water running, which is sucking up my water bill. It's a mess, I tell you. And then there's another fan sucking the humidity out the air. I'm not sure what that does, but alright. And then the guy who did the job on the pipes, he decided not to come out. So we had a whole new plumber that couldn't find the issue. So then, after a day or two, we had the guy who originally messed up the pipes come back and fix his problem. And when he did that, he decided he was going to do it in two parts. So he fixed the living room leak because that started to leak again. And he decided he's going to come back on Saturday because my husband works from home and it's very, very loud. The fans, his tools, and all of that. So guess what? He then proceeds to tell us that his symptoms match the symptoms of the coronavirus, and he has came into our quarantine bubble and basically has touched a whole bunch of stuff. Luckily, I disinfected right behind him before he left. So he decided he's not going to come over for the best interest of us, himself, and everyone else. Cool. But now I'm fighting the issue of, will I have mold? Or will we get hit with what's going out in the world with people coming in and out of our bubble? So it's like, I can't exactly cancel people coming to fix this issue because we'll develop mold. But then at the same time, I don't know which one's worse. So we have all that going on, and that's been going on for the past week and a half. And it still has not been fixed. The only thing that's been fixed is the main tube in the living room, which is great. and Mitch is still working from home. And then we have the kids who are now working online, and we've had online problems with that, logging on, the classroom portals and all of that, which I'm pretty sure is going to get resolved, but it's still a bit stressful. Now, granted, I'm a stay-at-home mom who's used to her children always being at home, especially in the summer. That's like, what, 2 months, 3 months? This is nothing for me, but there's some parents out there who never get to spend a lot of time with their kids, and it can be overwhelming for them. I just think it's very important to spread a no judgment zone anywhere right now. We all need each other. We all need to lean on each other. So yeah, another thing I want to say that's very important. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, and I know these fans are loud, but another thing I want to say right now is everyone's grieving. If you guys haven't, go check out Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett Smith on Facebook. She has posted how to deal with anxiety and depression during this time. Everyone's grieving graduation, weddings, funerals. They can't even see their significant others with this ongoing thing in the world, okay? There's just a lot of things. There's nothing too big or too small that people are upset about. Please, 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 I've already seen it online. People shutting down people, saying don't be selfish, to be upset about this when this is going on. People have the right to be upset. If you don't agree with what they're upset about, it's so simple. Hide it. You can snooze them for 30 days if they're complaining too much. Just keep it pushing, because the people, if they're coming to social media, not all the time, but a lot of the time, people don't have anyone else to talk to, you know? So who are you to tell them how to feel about how they feel, you know? So just keep it pushing, because you're over here telling someone not to be too sensitive or too sap over something, and you're sap enough to comment on their post. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Alright, another thing that I want to talk about, anxiety and depression. I've suffered from anxiety and depression for many, many years. I just recently went to therapy, you guys know, for a full year, and I've learned techniques on how to handle it, and all that. But I will say, this is trying me. This is trying me. With everything that I've told you, this is really mentally this is hard on my mental, for sure. So I can't even imagine people who haven't been in therapy. I can't even imagine people worse off than me, or not worse off than me. I can't imagine people who have it worse than me, or that feel things different or more than I do. I'm trying to be careful around that because I don't want to offend anybody, but I can't even imagine. So this is my suggestion to you guys. I think if you have a therapist that does not do Zoom or Skype or telecommunication, I need you guys to go ahead and go on Psychology Today, find your insurance, and talk to someone. They may not be your therapist. Please reach out to them, because that is the best thing I can recommend. Talk to someone who's a professional. Talk to someone who can calmly advise you on what you should be doing, versus reaching out to other people who may be panicking themselves. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, please practice your 5 senses. That's very, very important. I'm going to find a picture of what it is for anxiety, or I'll put it in the link below. Let me tell you, I haven't had a panic attack in like 7 or 8 months, and I've had 4 this week. So, yeah, this is a time where we need to be kind to each other. We need to hold hands with each other. The irony is we all feel so alone right now, but we're all in the same boat. We are all in our homes together. Please reach out to someone that you know has anxiety and depression. Please reach out to people who have underlying conditions. They want to know that you're thinking about them. You know, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Let's do our best to comfort one another instead of bashing one another. That's super, super important in my opinion. Also, another thing, no human's meant to be a mouse. That means do your best to open all the windows, take in the sun, do your best to sit outside, get a little chair and sit outside. You have to get some vitamin D in your system. That's going to make you feel better mentally. vitamin D vitamins really help me. Yeah. I also just got off of a sinus infection, so that was fun for me. Wash your hands, guys, and practice social distancing. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to go out. And that's for things that you absolutely need. Not want, but need. This has happened in history before, but there wasn't even internet. There wasn't even social media to communicate with your loved ones. So we should all be comforted in that. If you have FaceTime, if you have access to the internet, we all have access to speak to our loved ones. So please, please, please utilize that. We have access to speak to medical professionals. Please, please, please use that. Why is this flip the opposite way? Like, what? Crumbs is over it all. Super over it all. For people who are panicking, these are a couple of things you can do as well. You can limit your amount of listening to the news. Go from 3 times a day to once a day. And know and pay attention to your body. When you start to feel yourself hold your breath, or when you start to feel yourself really looking into something, that is your cue to take a break and come back to the news. Or if you are fortunate enough to live with somebody else and they have no problems watching the news, have them listen to the news with their headphones on, and they can also summarize what's going on in the news. That way you're listening to the news from a loved one or someone you're living with, and they can leave out some of the most panicky parts. Because another thing I've noticed about the news, they are repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again, and they're repeating the worst case scenarios. Yes, that's helpful. We want to know the worst case just so we're ahead of the game, but at the same time, at least somebody in the household knows what's going on. You don't need to know the ins and outs and how many and the counts and the numbers and all of that, okay? So that is my advice to you guys. Have someone you care about listen to it and relay the message back to you. What are the most concerning things that you should be concerned about? Know we're in this together, Gems. We're gonna get through this. This is not our forever. This is not our forever. It's just a long, long, trying season. And if you guys want, my DMs are always open. My comments are always open. I have no problems talking to you guys, and other gyms I know will have no problems in communicating with you guys as well. So if my best source of communication, you can, if you have a Facebook, which I'm pretty sure everyone does, if you have a Facebook, go ahead to the search bar and look up Gym Support Group, and you will find my group, and that is where I host lots of discussions, and that is the best way to communicate with other gyms and people who have no problems reaching out to you and just holding a conversation. We talk about all types of stuff, and most importantly, we're not talking about what's going on in the world. We're trying to keep it light. We're trying to distract ourselves. So if you're here for a healthy distraction, please find me on Gym Support Group on Facebook and or DM me. I will be more than happy to talk to anyone who needs it. I love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys at the end of this thing, because this is not the end. This is just right now. Bye, guys.